All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for you in different part of the globe. It's a pleasure today to be with you here to celebrate International Women's Day. And as Fairtrade Asia Pacific, we will be talking and sharing and doing our effort on advancing gender parity across fair trade system in Asia. Welcome, everyone. To start with, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Warda Hashim, program consultant for Fairtrade International and responsible to support Fairtrade certified producers in Indonesia. And before we go too far, I would like to inform you all that this webinar session will be recorded. As a producer network of Fairtrade International, we recognize and promote women as agent of change by identifying an opportunity to promote gender equality and women empowerment and suggest strategies to overcome institutional and structural barriers and discrimination against women in agricultural sector. This Women's Day is a very important session for us. And we have here dynamic female speakers, leaders from producers, Fairtrade producers, and also from NAPP consultant. We will be talking about diverse topic today, from agribusiness, agri-technology innovation, to Fairtrade strategic intervention for gender equality, partnership, and advocacy initiative. I hope we all will be taking important lesson today, also sharing important journey, and we can all then contribute to the improvement of gender equality within our system. For this session to come, we are welcoming your comment, input, and your view on any of the presentation, and especially to gender strategy for the betterment of our women, farmers and workers. You can post your suggestion and query in the chat box. In terms of response from our end, we will respond to you directly by email. And if you would like to get involved and take part in discussion with committee, core committee, you can write to our gender social compliance manager, Sonia Dominica. We can share her email in the chat box. All right. To begin with, let us watch a video showcasing the journey of gender work at NAPP that show achievement and effort of the whole team. And we might have done something, but we never know it has been achieved. Okay, I think it's time to start the video.
become realized, if only we believe and take the initiative to take action and achieve. Why shouldn't men and women be treated the same? To have equal rights? That should really be our aim.
Thank you very much. We have watched the video of the NAPP journey in gender work. And the video have shown our achievements so far. But we do believe as a team we need to work smarter and invest more achievement, invest more and achieve better for greater impact and reach many more in the future. Now we are very happy to have Ibu Rizkani Ahmad, the chairwoman of Women Only Coffee Cooperative from Indonesia. Ibu Rizkani will be talking about breaking the gender stereotype in agribusiness from woman farmer to a leader of a cooperative. Ibu Rizkani was born from coffee farmers family and now leads a women-only cooperative with 400 members. Ibu tekan got it.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Terima kasih sudah memberi kesempatan kepada saya untuk bergabung di acara Women Day hari ini. Perkenalkan, saya dari Koperasi Kopi Wanita Gayo. Nama saya Rizkani Ahmad. Saya sudah menikah, memiliki 3 anak, 2 putri dan 1 putra. Saya lahir dari keluarga petani. Dan sekarang saya memimpin Koperasi Kopi Wanita Gayo yang memiliki anggota sekitar 400 orang dan semua anggotanya adalah perempuan. Ayah saya adalah seorang petani kopi dan berbisnis pertanian. Saya juga memilih menjadi seorang petani dan melanjutkan bisnis orang tua saya. Kebetulan ibu saya adalah pedagang, dia juga memiliki bisnis. Kebetulan saya memiliki darah bisnis dari ibu saya.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving me opportunity to participate in this International Women Day. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Rizkani Ahmad. I'm married with 2 daughters and 1 son. I was born from farmers' families, and now I am leading a coffee farmers cooperative, which has 400 members and all are women. My father was coffee farmers and also have small business in agriculture, agribusiness, and I decided to continue my father's business. I also have the business spirit from my mother. So I got this kind of mix from my father and my mother.
Untuk mencapai posisi sebagai ketua sebuah koperasi yang berbisnis kopi, sebagai perempuan anak seorang petani kopi, saya banyak menghadapi tantangan, di antaranya 1, bahwa bisnis kopi didominasi oleh laki-laki. Yang kedua, perempuan yang sudah menikah biasanya mendedikasikan untuk keluarga dan anak-anak, sehingga waktu untuk membangun karir itu sangat terbatas. Yang ketiga, kepercayaan terhadap perempuan di bisnis sangat rendah dibandingkan laki-laki, sehingga banyak perempuan yang tidak mau dan tidak mampu untuk terjun ke bisnis dunia kopi.
Right, now I would like to share with you the challenge I face as a woman in coffee business. To reach the position as a leader of one cooperative in coffee business, as a as a female daughter of a farmers, I have faced quite a lot of challenge. Some of dominant challenge are that coffee business here are dominated by men. And the second, women, married women especially, dedicated their time for their family and their children, so they have very limited time to build their career in the business. And the last but not least, that's the trust for women in business world is very, very low compared to the trust gained by men in this business. So many women decided not to get involved in the business, or they are not able to get involved in the business.
Sebagai petani, dulu saya adalah anggota koperasi yang anggotanya didominasi oleh laki-laki, di mana suara dan kebutuhan perempuan sering tidak terakomodir karena dominasi laki-laki. Jadi pada tahun 2014 bersama 21 orang teman perempuan saya menginisiasi wadah untuk petani perempuan. Kami mendirikan koperasi wanita Gayo yang disingkat dengan Kokoa Gayo pada tanggal 14 April 2014. Waktu itu anggota petani yang bergabung di koperasi sekitar 270 orang. Untuk pertama kali saya dipercayakan sebagai ketua. Pada tahun 2015, koperasi mendapat sertifikasi Fairtrade dan organik.
Right. Now, I would like to share with you what I have done to reach my current position. As farmers, as a farmer, I was member of the cooperative, which was dominated by men, where the voice of women and women need were not accommodated well. In 2014, with 21 of my friends, all women, we initiate a farmers group, women farmers group. Then we start establishing a cooperative which called Koperasi Wanita Gayo, which means women coffee cooperative, on the 14th of April 2014. At that time, the members of this cooperative were only 270. And for the first time, I was trusted to be a leader of this cooperative in 2015. And then we gained the organic and Fairtrade certification in the same time.
Awalnya Kokoa Gayo merupakan bagian dari koperasi induknya, yaitu Permata Gayo. Produk kami diekspor oleh Koperasi Sumatera Permata Gayo. Mitra bisnis ini kemudian bersedia memberi pinjaman modal untuk Kokoa Gayo. Untuk pengembangan bisnis, sebagai ketua, saya belajar banyak bagaimana mengembangkan koperasi. Saya mengikuti trade show di Seattle pertama pada tahun 2015. Di sini saya bertemu dengan Cafe Femenino dan menjadi mitra bisnis mereka sejak saat itu. Mereka membeli kopi, Fairtrade dan organik, dan juga memberikan social fund dan mengembangkan kapasitas. Saya sangat terbantu dengan adanya dukungan mereka. Saya bersama teman-teman terus belajar dan bekerja keras. Pada tahun 2019, koperasi kami mulai mengekspor sendiri. Sebagai koperasi anggota Fairtrade, Kokoa Gayo juga aktif dalam program Fairtrade. Ketika Fairtrade bekerjasama dengan TPSK Kanada 2018, saya mendapat kesempatan belajar banyak dan sangat merasakan penguatan kapasitas saya sebagai pemimpin koperasi yang bergerak di bisnis kopi. Sejak saat itu saya juga dipercaya sebagai ketua Women Coffee Forum di Sumatera.
At the beginning, our cooperative was part of its mother cooperative, which called Permata Gayo. Our product was exported by them, and this our business partner. And they trust us and they provide loan for us. For developing our business as a leader, I learned a lot and I worked hard how to develop our cooperative. In 2015, I attended a trade show in Seattle where I met Cafe Femenino. Then they become our business partner. They purchase our coffee under Fairtrade and organic term, and they also provide social fund for us and capacity building. It was really helpful, and I'm getting so much benefit from them. I and all my friends in the cooperative, we continuously working hard, and finally in 2019 our cooperative gained export license. As a Fairtrade cooperative, our cooperative also active in Fairtrade program. When Fairtrade in Indonesia have a collaboration with TPSA Canada in 2018, I got the opportunity to learn more, and I gain my capacity and the cooperative to improve the business. Since then, I also was trusted as Women Coffee Forum leader in Sumatra.
Perjalanan dari petani kopi hingga menjadi ketua koperasi perempuan yang mengelola bisnis kopi langsung dari produsen ke pasar global membutuhkan modal utama, yaitu satu, mencari dan memanfaatkan peluang kesempatan untuk terus belajar. Yang kedua, membangun kapasitas diri menjadi pribadi yang resilient karena bisnis kopi ini memiliki fluktuasi yang sangat signifikan. Ketiga, membangun dan menjaga kepercayaan anggota mitra bisnis untuk menjamin keberlanjutan. Keempat, bersedia menyiapkan generasi selanjutnya, belajar dari perjalanan pribadi saya untuk mencapai apa yang ada saat ini. Saya terus melakukan pembinaan pada generasi muda, memberi kesempatan kepada mereka untuk belajar dan membangun kapasitas. Sehingga nanti jika telah tiba waktunya, mereka mengambil alih peran saya, mereka akan mampu menjalankan dan mengembangkan koperasi bisnis ini secara berkelanjutan.
My journey as a coffee farmer to be a leader of a coffee producers cooperative that directly send our product to global markets. It needs some capacity. The first thing was that I continuously searching and utilizing any opportunity to keep learning, and second, building my capacity to be a resilient resilient individual, because business in coffee have a very significant fluctuation from time to time. The third, to build and maintain the confidence of our members and business partners to ensure sustainability. And the fourth, as a leader today, I have to do something to prepare for the next generation. Learning from my own journey to reach the current position, I continuously trying to help the new generation strengthen their capacity, so when their time comes to take over the position I'm holding now, they are ready for that. And we hope that our cooperative will be sustainable.
Berizin, terima kasih. Saya berharap peran perempuan di dunia semakin terangkat derajatnya.
Thank you very much, Berizin. I hope that women's role in the world will be better, and women will play a better role in the world, and our self-esteem also being increased. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Berizin. I hope that women's role in the world will be better, and women will play a better role in the world, and our self-esteem also being increased. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Reskani. It was incredible journey, and we learned how resilient you are and how.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Terima kasih sudah memberi kesempatan kepada saya untuk bergabung
Yeah, we have learned the journey from Ibu Rizkani to be a resilient woman in coffee business, and it takes some strength and diligence and that's commitment. We learned how she used the opportunity attending the trade show to approach potential buyer, and then she got long time commitment from Coffee Femenino that's also assisting them up to now. Well done, Ibu. Thank you very much for sharing your journey. Now we are going to hear from other part, Ms. Sundas Khalil from Pakistan. She will be sharing about the opportunities and challenge for women workers in agri supply chain in hired labor plantation setup. Um, Sundas has been working as a manager industrial engineering at Vision Technology Corporation for in the past 5 years. She completed her master's degree in engineering management from the University of Engineering and Technology in Lahore, where she was member of Industrial and Manufacturing Engineer Club and ZIMAL, an all-women society. She is one of graduate of Fairtrade Gender Leadership School, and at the Vision Technology, she is a member of the execution team of Labor Standard Program of GIZ, and is also involved in their Fairtrade Workers Skill Improvement Training Center. She was awarded as a continuous improvement leader at Vision for operational excellence under the project of Decathlon. Sundus, we are very happy to have you here, and we will learn from your journey. Thank you.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I am very pleased to share my experience and my views on the topic opportunities and challenges for women workers in supply chain in hired labor setup. Next, please. I belong to VN Technologies Corporation Private Limited. It is situated in Sialkot, which is a sports city in Pakistan. Here are few photographs from my factory. My factory specializes in manufacturing of footballs, volleyballs, handballs, and soccer balls. It produces for meeting the growing needs of sports brands. It ensures best quality with all conventional and modern technologies of sports balls manufacturing. We are working with 20% female representation in our workforce. Females are working in administrative roles and managerial roles, as well as working in skilled labor workforce, where they are working as stitchers, as ball makers, as machine operators. They are working with hand sewn technologies and machine sewn technologies as well. VN Technology is a fair trade certified organization, IMX certified, BSCI certified, and ISO 9001 2015 certified organization. Next. As far as my role in VN Technologies is concerned, as Ms. Varda has already introduced me, I am working as change management team member. I am working as female representative in my factory, and we are very much involved in female worker skill improvement training center, where we are giving technical trainings to the female workers for attaining skill in machine stitch balls. I am also representing my company in many sustainability initiatives. I am organizer of International Women's Day celebrations. We are basically working on continuous improvement of our processes to achieve operational excellence in our factory. Next. As far as my view in the supply chain for female workforce is concerned, I believe that no country can attain its economic potential without the participation of its entire workforce. And women inclusion is not only the right thing to do, but it's the most profitable and beneficial things to do. Many studies have been documented that how including women in hiring and other supply chain processes could benefit the national economic growth. Next, please. In the supply chain processes, I have observed that women can excel in leadership and decision-making roles, along with working as skilled workforce. They inherit their family businesses to run as CEOs and directors, and they can also have their own initiatives for supply chains to start with small ventures. I also acknowledge that the international agencies like Fairtrade is raising awareness among its producers to uh, uh, have more and more female workforce in its work working class. That's why it's also creating opportunities for females to have their role in supply chain. Next. Next, please. Okay. At VN Technologies, as it's a fair trade certified organization, I have many opportunities. My female workers have many opportunities as they are working as event organizers, like they are organizing International Women's Day celebration. It's a basically a Thanksgiving journey to all the women who come with us with their stories. They have challenges in their family and society. They have come up with opportunities that we have given them, like trainings, like employment opportunities, and giving them many knowledgeable uh, workshops to have their better lives. Fairtrade have also provided a gender leadership school platform where we were trained on gender studies, gender behaviors, gender-based violences, and international and local laws on women protection. We were also trained on leadership skills. We were basically a team from different Fairtrade NAPP producers, where we learned from each other about improving communication skills, about networking and social skills. Under this platform, we also executed many useful projects for our society, like kitchen gardening, and we also replicated the trainings which we got from GLS platform to the factory-wide female workforce. We observe that these trainings are very much helping them to have awareness about their rights and their local protection laws. At VN, we are having our factory separate dining area for females, separate restroom and prayer room for them, exclusive pick and drop facility, because we have observed that many women are facing challenges come to our factory, come to other employment opportunities. That's why we are providing them. Here are some photos from the ceremonies of International Women's and other one of the workshop from GLS platform. Last slide, please. We have, as I have said, that I have been a part of the managerial process of technical training center where women are trained under many skilled cadres, and we are also employing them for opportunities. We have many education facilities for the children of our fair trade female workers and many other funding programs for them. As far as my experience is concerned in supply chain, I have observed that there are a lot of challenges for women workers. Like they are facing challenges or in gaining knowledge and trainings. They are lacking in financial resources, and due to social norms, they cannot play in their role in value chain. Due to community constraints, they have very limited mobility in their surroundings to avail economic opportunities. There are as well many discriminatory labor markets in informal sector where our women are underpaid or unpaid opportunities are dedicated for them. I have also observed a big challenge for women that they have domestic responsibilities along with their job responsibilities, and to balance their household responsibilities and their tasks at work, they face a lot of hurdles to contribute in the supply chain. And we have, with the cooperation of Fairtrade, many platforms to help them to face overcome these challenges. By, as I already mentioned, we are giving female an exclusive pick and drop facility for our female workers, which is with the cooperation of Fairtrade organization. Similarly, in the view of all the opportunities and the challenges female workers are focusing, I would recommend that Fairtrade should also have initiative to start special counseling services for female workers in supply chain. Like if they get any challenge in their social life or family life or legal consultancy they need, there should be a platform where they could get these services for them. I have also a recommendation that, like, we had availed Gender Leadership School, a platform for our male and female workers as well. I would request that there should be a separate exclusive female training center. As I mentioned that we are already having our separate training center, but it is run by our factory. But with the collaboration of Fairtrade, we can have an exclusive center where we can also engage the workers, female employees from our community as well, to train them on technical knowledge and get them employed in different organizations. I also request that Fairtrade should have many special initiatives for the women who are mothers because of their responsibility at home, at domestic level, may cause their situation as a challenge for supply chain. I would also recommend that Fairtrade should launch a program which should enable higher and advanced level of studies in some non-conventional ways where they could work and study simultaneously. These are all recommendations from my side and my observation through the experience in supply chain for opportunities and challenges for being faced by female workers. I thank you again for the opportunities to represent here at Fairtrade NAPP platform, especially to Ms. Sara Anam. She is Program Officer in Pakistan for Fairtrade NAPP. Thank you so much, Varda, for excellent moderation and reference. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
That's all from
Sundar.
my side.
Very, very nice to have you here. And thank you for sharing your view and your achievement. And I like the fact that you are there at the managerial level. It's good gatekeeper to make sure that women needs and safety are being taken care of. And one thing that we learned from Sundus that challenges are not to be avoided, but to be faced and responded in a strategic way. And one of what she just presented to us is gender awareness initiative doesn't target women only, but also men. Um, so we hope that we have many, many more Sundus in our system. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so
Now,
much. It's really very encouraging. Thank you.
thank you. Well done, Sundus. Now we have um, Mina, Mina Fora from India. She will share with us on agri-technology innovation for empowering women. Mina Fora has completed her master's degree in social work and currently working as project officer of Rapar and Dangardra Farmers Producer Company, a Fairtrade cotton small producer organization in India. Mina, we are very happy to have you here and looking forward to hear your presentation. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Many greetings. Thank you, Varda. Hello everyone. Many greetings to all on International Women Day. Thank you, Fairtrade NAPP, for organizing this program. Before I go with my topic, Agri-tech, innovation for empowering women, I would like to introduce our producer company and myself. My name is Meena Vora. I work as a project officer in Rapper and Dhangadra Farmer Producer Company. Our flow ID is 33573, Gujarat and India. Our producer company produce mainly cotton, peanuts and sesame, mainly produce cotton crop. On this big day, we know that we all work with farmer. On this opportunity, I will talk about agri-tech innovation for empowering women. I share you small research data. As per survey 2017 and 18 data, 70% rural women are engaged in agriculture work. This data published in Government National Survey Office. So we can say that women participation too large. So for that, what is innovation in agri-tech for empowering women? According to the Women's Empowerment in Agriculture Index, women play a crucial role in agriculture development, but it also faces constant obstacle for which it work to overcome such obstacle. This index helps to bring remarkable innovation to women empowerment in its field, in which agree measure the role and extent of women participation in the field, like decision regarding crucible production, access to productive resource, and decision making power, control over the use of income, community, leadership, and use of time. But with these challenges, agriculture technology innovation help to women in agriculture aspect. We can say that there are many technologies that help women in family and provide more incentive to work. But drip irrigation is very important. Let me tell you in details. Drip irrigation is the first relief from irrigation work, as well as saving natural resource. The water does not spread to that amount of weeds is reduced, and that work done by the weed hand is relieved. Due to each of the above mentioned activity, a woman can take care of herself, take care of her family, and take care of her children. In short, agri-tech innovation helps in socially save natural resource and also help in economically. Let's talk about women empowerment and agriculture as low as it is. Fairtrade NAPP also support and encourage and support for develop and increase the number of women as well as participation in the producer unit. Also give opportunity in board level committee. So thank you for Fairtrade NAPP for this organizing program. Thank you for given us this platform for sharing our experience and thought. Thank you. Thank you, Varda. Hello, everyone.
Thank you very much. Mina, it was incredible, and we pick up from you something that an innovation in agriculture sector can save natural resources. Drip irrigation innovation is great, and it's most importantly, it is save woman's life. That's great. Thank you very much, Mina, for sharing. Now we are going to a little bit relax by watching a dance video organized by Gender Leadership School members from Central Asia. Welcome. Thank you very much for Central Asia team. It was a very nice video, complemented with a beautiful background of the environment. Very entertaining, but we hope the most important is that they are enjoying themselves and sharing their happiness with us today. Thank you. We would like to carry on with a sharing session from our producers. Now we come to meet Pam Thi Yuan An from Vietnam. Um, she is going to share with us about vision of Fairtrade NAPP for promoting women agriculture leaders in the system. Pam is a chairwoman of POCO Fair Agriculture Cooperative, a fair trade coffee producer organization in Vietnam. She is a board member of Fairtrade NAPP and executive board members of Vietnam Fair Trade Producer Network. We are very happy to have her here, and looking forward that what Pan will share with us. By the way, she is a graduate of international trade from Vietnam Foreign Trade University and has also undergone trainings on sustainable agriculture from the Community Development Center. As a young, dynamic, and creative leader, she represents the younger generation of POCO Farm and has supported and worked for the cooperative for more than 10 years in multiple roles. Farm, we are very happy to have you here.
Hello everyone. My name is Phạm Thị Huyền Anh, or you can call me Phạm Anh. I am chairperson of POCO Fair Agriculture Cooperative. I'm also an executive board member of Vietnam Fairtrade Producers Network, board members of Fairtrade Network of Asian Pacific Producers. Now let me briefly introduce our cooperative. POCO Farms were established in January 2009 in Dak Ha Town in Central Highlands of Vietnam by 37 coffee farmers. Until now, we have 109 members. POCO Farms is one of the very few farmers organizations in Vietnam that encourage to empower young generation and women as well as have female board members and chairperson. We specialize in growing, processing, and supplying Robusta coffee with 3 types: standard quality, high quality coffee, and fine Robusta with unique Dakar flavors. We are one of the first 3 Vietnamese coffee small producer organizations to be certified as Fairtrade in 2009. Our flight is 21473. Now let me share you my meaningful journey with Fairtrade. 2009 was also the first time that I know about Fairtrade. At that time, as a farmer's daughter, I supported my dad and his other neighboring farmers to translate their application for Fairtrade certification. Their farmers group was then certified, and I assisted to prepare documents for its very first Fairtrade coffee export shipment. At the same time, I realized that what Fairtrade brings to the farmers and communities in my hometown is extremely meaningful. After graduating from university, I decided to work for this coffee farmers group as the coordinator. Here, I have many opportunities to learn and improve my capacities through the group activities, especially when I became a board member of Fairtrade NAPP. Along with my growth, I also have opportunities to contribute to the development of the farmer group. Now it becomes a cooperative that has achieved quite a lot of success. Our Robusta coffee has been highly evaluated in Fairtrade cupping session at Coffee Expo held by SCAA in Boston and SCAE in Berlin with score 84.25. We also got first prize in the contest Proud of Vietnam Agricultural Products 2018 held by Vietfarm, top 10 best coffee in Vietnam Amazing Cup 2020, etc. Our coffee has been exported to US, Switzerland, Germany, etc. Our member income has been increased too. Besides, the cooperative also makes contributions to the community, such as supporting free meals for the homeless, building houses for the underprivileged people, kindergarten for kids, etc. I myself also have chance to develop my career as a chairperson of POCO Farms, becoming board members of Vietnam Fairtrade SPO Network, board member of Fairtrade NAPP. Following Fairtrade spirit, POCO Farms focuses to become a sustainable development cooperative that helps farmers, especially female farmers, to have a better life through responsible coffee producing. Besides, we try to create as many as possible job opportunities and enhancing capacities for local youth and women. This is the vision of Fairtrade NAPP for promoting women agricultural leaders in the system. Thanks to the support of Fairtrade, I can and have chance to create my life. Therefore, I believe that all our girls and women in agriculture system as well as Fairtrade system deserve to have chance to manage and improve our self-life as well as be the leaders. Thank you for listening and wish you all a very happy Women's Day.
Thank you very much, ma'am. You are incredible. In such a young age, you have crafted your path and achieved many. Somehow, it seems that you and Ibu Rizkani from Indonesia have shared equal incredible journey, but at different time frame and different form. Maybe one day you can meet in person and share more and encouraging each other. And we are looking forward for a better and greater improvement from both of you. Thank you. Now we have Nancy Ferrer from Philippines. She will be with us today to share her work on SPO protection system for prevention and remediation of gender-based violence. Nancy is a mother, a wife, a leader, and a farmer. Wow. She started sugarcane farming in 2004 along with other members of Dama Farm Workers, an agrarian reform beneficiaries association, who are the recipient of agrarian reform program that give farm workers parcel of land from big estate. She was elected as the SPO secretary in 2007 and continue her services up to 2011. In 2020, she was elected as head of Anti-Gender-Based Violence Committee to lead in protecting women, youth, children, and vulnerable adults in the community to ensure the people in the organization are safe and secure. For her, gender-based violence happen everywhere, but people fail to notice it because they think it is normal. It is important to give an awareness on gender-based violence as well as to promote prolonged safety for the victim so they can have a better future. Nancy, we are very happy to have you here and learn from your contribution to the gender-based, anti-gender-based violence committee. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Nancy Palabrica Crel. I am 49 years old, a housewife and head of Anti-Gender Based and Violence Committee in my community. We are a sugarcane small-scale producer organization which is FLO certified and organic farming practitioner, located in La Castellana, Negros Occidental, Philippines. We have a total of 319 population comprised of 82 households. There are around 119 females in our village, including young girls and children. Our organization was founded in 1997. We are beneficiaries of the comprehensive agrarian reform law that gives farm workers the right to own a land. From our land struggle as farm workers or sakada, we became farm owners and farm entrepreneurs. We have been fighting for the right to own a land until given the chance to partner with alternative trading organizations who promote organic and fair trade concept. We became Fairtrade certified in 2012. We received an annual average of Fairtrade premium $36,578.20, which we invested for sugarcane production, social, economic, environmental project for members, their families, and community. We have around 72.86 hectare cultivation area with annual yield 4,972.74 metric tons. Our programs and service includes credit, health insurance, educational support, funeral and death support, rice subsidy, capacity building training. Women and youth empowerment. Being a Fairtrade certified organization, we adopt the Fairtrade rights-based approach on protection that believes in the principles of non-discrimination. For the best interest of everyone, respect the right to life, survival, developmental, and participation. We also believe and uphold to protect people from all forms of abuse, exploitation, and will do further harm to others. If any cases of child labor, forced labor, and gender-based violence is alleged or suspected, the Anti-GBV Committee, together with youth monitors, must report to the protection focal point and take all steps as noted in the PO's and PN's protection policy for children and vulnerable adults. For a long-term protection, our organization created an anti-GBV committee which is composed of 3 board of directors, youth monitor, gender protection focal point, and NAPP representative. The FWARBA work a long-term protection by having a committee to practice the association's protection policy for women, children, and vulnerable adults. Implementation of youth-exclusive, community-based monitoring and remediation project in partnership with Fairtrade International and NAPP that enhance the profiling of our community, especially registration of cases for intervention and monitoring for its resolution and appropriate action is one concrete protection in our populace in the association. We also believe that implementing training programs for women, youth, and children based on their needs that will raise their level of awareness, especially of gender sensitivity and gender-based violence is one different measures that will minimize cases of violence in our community. We likewise believe that continuous training of women for their empowerment will pave the way towards gender equality. Regular conduct of monitoring and evaluation of the program implementation will help surface strengths and weaknesses and guide us in making necessary adjustments when needed. We also ensure access and availability of emergency hotlines and active communication with law enforcement for cases beyond our control or that required police intervention. Youth monitors regular reporting, discussion, and consultation with officers and members. During the height of pandemic, our youth monitors helped distribute basic PPEs and reading materials regarding COVID-19 symptoms to raise awareness. Our protection policy and project triggers many social and cultural norms that affected the remediation process. Gender stereotyping is very strong and deeply rooted to culture and gender orientation. We have more women attend this during training on gender than men, despite of our effort to involve partners and both sexes in discussion. Cultural acceptance of violence, either as a normal method of resolving conflict as an usual part of rearing a child, is a risk factor for all types of interpersonal violence. Social tolerance of violent behavior is likely learned in a childhood through the use of corporal punishment of witnessing violence in the family, the media, or in other settings. Cursing and using of foul words when talking to a child makes them believe that it is okay to curse when you are angry or even when you are talking in public. Belittling women's capacity to do men's work or vice versa, double standards in treating women with college degree and high school diploma, or the silent class system in the Philippines patriarchal society. As we continue to practice and promote the protection and remediation procedure inclusive of youth. The fair trade communities must work together in increasing safe, stable, and nurturing relationships between children and their parents, create programs that will help mainstream gender equality and equity, develop life skills in children and adolescents, reduce ability and misuse of alcohol, promote gender equality, help identify and protect victims of abuses, care and support them towards a prolonged safety, fund projects led by women, and promote and uphold human rights in doing business. As producers doing business and strengthening our practices, we have to be clear with what we want. We want a world which is gender-based violence-free community. We must help and violence against women and children and vulnerable adults. Let's do this.
Salama, thank you very much, Nancy. It was an incredible movement led to a long-lasting solution from women farm workers to landowner. And Nancy and team do not stop there. In fact, they carry on advocacy effort to ensure women and children can live in a safe and conducive environment they deserve and they have right to. Congratulations, Nancy. I hope you keep up with good, amazing work. And we'll be very happy to learn more about you and your team achievement. Thank you. The last presenter from our producer today is Sheena Susan Fargis from India. She will be presenting on leveraging the advantage of cooperative setup for the overall development of women member from farm to market access. Sheena is the president and founder of High Range Organic Women Fairtrade Farmers Association, the first women Fairtrade cooperative in India. The cooperative currently provides 98 women members with access to secure and sustainable livelihood through Fairtrade business of $1 million and a premium of $15,000 per year. Sheena has always been a Fairtrade supporter and women empowerment enabler with more than 2 decades of experience supporting sustainable production. Some of her commitments to Fairtrade include driving Fairtrade enthusiasm through seminar, training, and providing equal opportunities for both men and women. As a Fairtrade project facilitator, she employs women for social and economic empowerment through the processing unit of HAUFA, where they are continuously trained and assessed to enhance their performance. Welcome, Sheena, and we are very happy to learn more from your experience.
Hi, I am Sheena Susan Varghese. I am the president of HAUFA, High Range Organic Women Fairtrade Farmers Association. Happy Women's Day to all. The theme of Women's Day this year is Gender Equality for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Breaking the bias is a serious job. Women have great power which is not recognized. The reality is that the world cannot function without women. We need a world where men and women are treated equally without any bias or discrimination. There is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. Women are multi-talented and efficient. However, in our region, they are discriminated and criticized. HAUFA's vision is to empower and motivate women farmers and make it a gender-neutral place. Why do we celebrate Women's Day every year? Women are not appreciated in many organizations. So, Women's Day is celebrated to lift the spirit of women and to acknowledge their efforts. We at HAUFA celebrate Women's Day every year in order to make our women farmers aware of their worth, and to empower them. Haufa focus on opportunities, not limitations, to bring out the best. Such trainings are given on this day so that they could reap what they sow. During this pandemic, Haufa supplied masks, sanitizers, gloves, and also organic manures for their crops. Haufa is the first Fairtrade women cooperative in India. We started with 50 women farmers in 2018. We faced lot of struggles in the beginning through flood, landslides, and other challenges. To overcome this, we supplied high-yielding varieties of seedlings to the farmers, also given trainings regarding the good agricultural practices, and we practice equal wages for men and women at workplace. The procurement amounts are transferred to the woman's bank account only. They are trained in technology, communication, and fair trade standards to become economically and socially empowered. All these efforts have helped in doubling the membership of our cooperative. The advantage of the cooperative for overall development of women members is that it will continue the mobilization of the marginalized women farmers to find their identity in a predominantly patriarchal community through the employment at the value chain of Haufa. Procured farm products from Haufa are processed, packed, and stored by hundreds of women in the Fairtrade partner organization. Necessary involvement of women in the key value chain activities, processing, marketing, and export by the Fairtrade partner ensures economic empowerment and self-sufficiency. Haufa has become a Fairtrade successful business model of women cooperative. Haufa, with 98 members, enjoying secure and sustainable livelihoods through the Fairtrade business of USD 1 million and a premium of 15,000 USD per annum. Currently coordinates with NGO management to allocate funds for the women empowerment projects. We have assurance that projects operated by women with a good intention can be successful by accepting the challenges as opportunities. Thank you all. Hi, I am Sheena Susan Varghese.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sheena. I like your quote that the project led by women, implemented by women, will be success. And I believe so. It seems that we have many incredible presenters today here from our producers, and I believe there are many more potential and resources we have in the system, but unfortunately we have no enough space to accommodate all in this particular day. It might be nice to organize more sharing session like this in the future for the Fairtrade Asia Pacific region. um, right, for our beloved audience, if you have any questions or you have any comment and feedback, any queries, please share it in the chat box. And we have shared Sonia's email also. If you want to write to her directly, you're also welcome. Now we are going again to have a nice session, watching a dance, traditional dance performed by youth in Indonesia, particularly from the coffee producers area in Gayo Highland, where Ibu Rizkani is from. And in that particular area, we have about 21 coffee producer organizations. So this dance is a representation from them. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. It's a very nice dance, and I bet you enjoy it. In a very short time, also, the youth who produced this video have presented to you the coffee from tree to cup. And these traditional dance normally used for the celebration of coffee harvest time in the area. And I would like to also use the opportunity to invite any of participants from NFOs to visit the areas, and also from our wider system, if you could plan any visit to, so you can have a closer look of the amazing area and high quality coffee from Gayo Highland. All right. Now we move to the presentation and sharing session from NAP's consultant. We will start with Irisha Sanjuani, a program consultant for Fairtrade NAPP in Sri Lanka. Irisha will share with us the Fairtrade Strategic Intervention for Gender Equality. Irisha represents Asia Pacific producers in Fairtrade International Standard Committee and Oversight Committee and currently serve as the chair of the Standard Committee. Prior joining the Fairtrade, she worked as manager of compliance and standard for Macklem Group and Company in Sri Lanka for more than 7 years, where she was in charge as the international standard for export and certification. She also worked as Fairtrade officer for Macallum Nursery Private Limited, a Fairtrade certified card foliage and ornamental plant for exporter. Arisha obtained Master's in Science in Environmental Science from the University of Colombo and currently pursuing her PhD in effectiveness of organic farming involving good agricultural practices in adaptation to climate change in Sri Lanka tea smallholding. Irisha would like to welcoming you and share this work with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this given opportunity. I'm talking about Fairtrade Strategic Intervention for Gender Equality and Equity. I'm Irisha Sanjeevani from Sri Lanka. I'm working as the program consultant for Sri Lanka as well as the Standard Committee Chair at Fairtrade International. Fairtrade is helping to challenge the gender gap, enabling women to state their claim and succeed on their own terms. Fairtrade standards are designed to prevent gender inequality, increase women participation, and empower more women and girls to access the benefits of fair trade. Around 60 to 80% of the world's food is grown by women, yet they often don't own the land in most of the countries. In some countries, of course, like Sri Lanka and Thailand, the land ownership equality is written and practiced in the country constitution. Also, in most of the countries, women see little of the profit made from it. Fairtrade works to address this gender gap. So, how are we going to do that? Access and inclusion significantly increase the active and equal participation of women in fair trade, certified smallholders, and hired labor organizations, empower and equity. Empower more women and girls with opportunities to access equitably the benefits of fair trade and gender transformation change, address systemic issues that hamper the realization of greater gender equality in fair trade supply chains. Fairtrade has worked along the lines of transformative approach to gender mainstreaming work, which actively promotes a redefinition of power relations between men and women within the fair trade system and its related organizations. In this way, the Fairtrade Gender Strategy defines an agenda and pathways for mobilizing structural changes in gender programming across the fair trade system. Gender strategy goes 2 steps further than mainstreaming gendered language across fair trade strategies and documents. Gender responsive approaches move beyond monitoring gendered outcomes to responding to and taking actions on gender issues through standards, strategies, or projects and intervention programs. Fairtrade The Fairtrade gender focus recognizes gendered norms. For example, land tenure, men's and women's labor roles, decision making, and control over household income, etc. Present significant barriers to realizing gender equality within Fairtrade supply chains and producer organizations. Gender transformative approaches seek to transform institutional and socio-cultural norms that inhibit full and equal participation and equitable benefit sharing. Strategic intervention and strategic program intervention. Fairtrade standards are designed to prevent gender inequality, increase women participation, and empower more women and girls to access the benefits of fair trade. So the requirements for producer organizations include no discrimination on the basis of gender or marital status, zero tolerance of behavior that is sexually intimidating, abuse or exploitative, no testing for pregnancy when recruiting workers, programs to support disadvantaged and minority groups such as women and other inabilities, developing a gender policy over time. Strategic program intervention says that fair trade premium projects directly benefit women, enabling changes to decision-making and governance structures in certified producer organizations and improving economic opportunities. Gender Leadership School, focusing on ensuring equal participation. Producer organizations are undertaking gender analysis of their organizations and piloting new gender equality programs, gender committees, and policies. So, as stated, the work forward is more from gender equity approach, and we at NAPP will be working to ensure conscious decisions are made for ensure we are balanced. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Irisha, for your presentation. Everyone, we have here Irisha that take us to strategic intervention of fair trade to gender equality through the standard requirement. And we believe that this all requirement is being respected and implemented by all our certified producers. We believe that will turn the world to be a better place and safer place for women to live in, which all women, children, and human deserve for. Next, I hope you are patient enough to attend this session, because I believe many benefits, insights, and testimony from different aspects. And now we carry on with Ms. Sarah Anu, who will present to us an overview of gender lens programming and way forward. Um, and Sarah is a program consultant for Pakistan and Iran. Sarah has completed her master's in human development in 2004 and has strong project management, monitoring and evaluation, reporting and documentation skills, and possesses almost 16 years of extensive working experience in the area of gender, youth development, social inclusion, community development, and advocacy. She has worked closely both in public and private sector in collaboration with relevant department of district and provincial government, and other key stakeholders, including prominent NGOs and organizations. Being a social development expert, she has deep understanding on core issue and challenges of gender mainstreaming, health and education, local government structure, organizational capacity building, development sector, and expertise to develop strategic implementation at national and international domain. such a great resource we have within our system. We are very proud of you, Sarah, and you are welcome to present and share your presentation. Thank you. Sarah, you are mute.
Thanks a lot, Verda. Thanks for this opportunity. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can I have my presentation? So, am I audible?
Sarah.
Am I audible?
Yes, Sarah, yes.
Okay, so
Please
my
go
topic
ahead.
is gender lens programming and way forward. So we might have experienced our producer organization work gender program, but it is high time that we have to actually evaluate our progress of programming to address the issues of gender. So here I would like to narrate that the concept of gender applies to both men and women, as we know that different genders are socially conditioned to occupy different roles. They face different expectations and challenges. These biases are often invisible. Often they are not intentional. For example, if you wear glasses, you can well understand that how difficult to see things without glasses. Even the things are there and information is there, but without your glasses, you can't see them, and that would be invisible. So we need to put gender inclusive glasses to see the gender biases within the systems. Next, please. So why does it matter? A gender-wise program is one that considers the different needs and circumstances of people of all gender within the target beneficiary group. So in order to be fair, NAPP encourages all producers to prepare to treat different genders differently, to remove barriers and to encourage inclusion, and start this process by applying a gender lens. And we can develop a checklist or questions. For instance, we can ask that, does organizations include women and girls as active decision makers by giving them leadership positions? Or do they have decision making power within the system? Next. So here I would like to share the amazing gender programming in Pakistan, and it is very important to showcase this Gender Leadership School GLS initiative, which the journey of GLS Pakistan had 3 rounds, and in which 30 female and 30 males have completed the GLS course in Pakistan, and from all 12 producer organizations. It was very well taken by the network of Pakistan, organizations. Next. So here you can see the amazing, vibrant inauguration of Gender Leadership School, where we called some different, government heads from Chamber of Commerce, women president from Chamber of Commerce, and you can see the, happiness on the faces. Next. Here you can see the, the engagement by all 12 producer organizations representatives in gender leadership school activities and trainings. They also celebrated, different campaigns within this gender leadership schools. Next. So GLS members from different producer organizations took lead in supporting workers and farmers during Corona pandemic through food and health distribution relief packages. They also celebrated International Women's Day on 8 March and participated in different campaigns like Purple the World. Various physical and online awareness raising sessions and community awareness campaigns on COVID-19 were also conducted by them. And tree plantation was initiated by few GLS members, and where 1,000 trees were planted. So these are the initiatives which they took after getting, graduated from this gender leadership school. Next. You can see the pictorial, where they are, engaged in different certain activities of COVID relief funds and other, campaign of awareness during COVID in, pandemic phases. They came forward as emerging leaders out of this NAPP system. Next. You can see other pictures where they are, celebrating the days, where they are celebrating they are conducting the awareness campaigns, and they are actively involved in initiatives. Next. And then we have, after the series of training in the last 1 year, the convocation ceremony was held on July 1st, where 30 participants were awarded a certificate of successful completion of training on gender. And let me tell you that convocation was full of energy, which was attended by NAPP Central Office staff from India, NAPP staff from Southeast Asia, all 12 producers from Pakistan, GLS members from Pakistan, along with member parliament and government department from social welfare department. Next, please. You can see the pictures of GLS convocation Pakistan. Next. So out of this, all the circle of gender leadership school, which we have completed in Pakistan, we also initiated GLS mini projects, where producers has applied the mini projects, and we selected 3 projects from 3 producer organizations. One was on kitchen gardening, then was on stitching center, that is vocational and skill training, then cooking and catering. So out of these GLS mini projects, 28 male and 66 female were got training, and they were executed very well by the gender leadership school members. Next. So you can see the a few pictures from gender leadership mini projects, stitching school, and training on kitchen gardening and cooking classes. Next. We also initiated a webinar on the topic of the role of gender in promoting human rights, protection and governance in value chains on 26 October 2021, in which Ms. Anita Seth, Senior Advisor, Social Compliance and Development, was a guest speaker. And that was attended by 8 producer organizations with almost 24 participants. Next. So as a way forward, we are looking forward more and more gender inclusive projects for Pakistan. And in general, NAPP would love to work on these aspects, to support producer organization to have an outstanding practices. So let's not wait for the time to arrive, but let's create that time to start now, and no turning back to engage ourselves in gender lens programming. Happy Women's Day to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Very interesting. And I pick up one very important point that we all have to have gender lens glasses in order to help us see clearly the issue. And I assume this is not only, we sometimes when we talk about gender issue, we focus more on women and like putting men in the side that they are not supporting this idea, but in fact, there's both gender have to be equally involved in this. That's why Sarah have been talking about gender inclusive approach and programming. So I think Sonia, on behalf of NAPP, can now initiate and order a mass production of gender lens glasses to be distributed to our producers and stakeholders. Won't you, Sonia? So thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. And we shall now move to Veronica, Veronica Perez. She is the Fairtrade Project Manager for European Commission Framework Partnership Agreement, who coordinate the grant on behalf of Fairtrade NAPP, and she's been with us for 1.5 years now. Veronica will share with us about ECFPA focus on supporting gender initiative across the Fairtrade Producers Organization. As you know that the ECFPA support, one of the objectives of this project is to strengthen the position of women and youth in Fairtrade certified organization as business and community leaders. Prior to joining Fairtrade, Veronica worked to secure institutional and corporate grant income from various non-profit organizations, including Global Copy Platform. Veronica has master's degree in corporate communication and a diploma in international development. I believe Veronica has been working very closely with us to ensure a smooth implementation of many interventions in terms of women youth empowerment. Veronica, we would like to have you here for this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vada, and hello everybody. Happy Women's Day. I'm very honored to be presenting today as well and to be part of this webinar of women across Asia, particularly having been given this chance, given the fact that I'm not Asian, I'm a European woman based in Germany, originally from Spain, a mom as well, a mother and a working mother. So I'm very pleased to be here and yeah, to introduce the ECFPA project, which, as Vada rightly pointed out, has a strong component on a strong focus on strengthening the role of women and across Fairtrade certified producer organizations, but as well in the governance level of the NAPP. So with that, I will start my presentation and tell you a little bit more about this project. Maybe we can move to the next slide. So, what is the ECFPA grant? It is a grant that initially started in the year 2019. That was the kick-off year. And it is funded by the European Commission, and it is the title of this grant is Unlocking the Power of Producers and Workers to Drive Inclusive Trade and Development Through Fair Trade. It will end mid-2023, and probably it will be extended for another 6 months because due to the COVID pandemic, some of the activities were slow at being implemented. So probably we have another nearly 2 years ahead of us. To the next, please, to the next slide. It is a very small consortium. So NAPP is one of the organizations which are benefiting from this grant. I mark it there, Fairtrade NAPP, but it's also a grant where the other 2 producer networks are also partners. So there is the CLAC as well, the Fairtrade network of producers of Latin America and the Caribbean, and there is our counterparts in Fairtrade Africa as well. Besides that, Fairtrade International, as the umbrella organization of the Fairtrade movement, is leading, and we have an additional partner, which is the Fairtrade Advocacy Office based in Brussels, which is mostly focusing on advocacy work. Next. So what are the key objectives? There are several components, but in a nutshell, I mean, this is a grant, a very special project, because it's really about giving us resources to strengthen our own system as a producer network, or as as producer networks and as a system. So it's also about strengthening organizational capacities, our financial systems, strengthening as well our work in advocacy, building capacity for staff, and as well, which is very important, is create more inclusive and representative and efficient Fairtrade networks. And is it really possible to build an inclusive and representative network without involving the woman and without really strengthening the voice within our system? We believe it is not. Next. So what are we doing through the grant to actually promote gender equity across the 3 PNs? These are just some examples of what is being done. The CLAC has been very active at rolling out training sessions for women producers and socializing CLAC gender strategy. So this year only, they have conducted nearly 15 training workshops across countries in Latin America. So really like rolling out this gender strategy, putting it in action. Fairtrade Africa has also been very active, and thanks to this grant, they've been able to develop their gender policy and revise as well sexual harassment policy by Fairtrade Africa. Oops, yeah. And as of NAPP, we started a little bit later with the implementation of the grant due to some difficulties in the first years. But now we have also made great progress on starting our gender work and starting to develop policies on gender use and highlighting the best practices. And this is being led by my colleague Sonia Dominica, who is a workstream leader for ECFPA for the gender program. So she's doing a great work, and I want to acknowledge her here. Next. Some of the things that we have already done, for instance, we have been helping to fund some of the activities around the rollout of the Gender Leadership School. Here is an example of Kyrgyzstan, the graduation ceremony in December 2020. This was partly covered with our grant, and there are more plans in 2022 to continue supporting the rollout of the Gender Leadership Schools. There is also budget allocated specifically to have gender sensitization workshops for all NAPP governance bodies. I think at this point it's very important because the NAPP has just approved its new governance structure. There will soon be, if there is a new GA, like new board members, they need to be trained. And I would like to take the words from Sarah from the last presentation that we need a gender lens. Yes, and I think also our governance needs this gender lens. So this will be an important work. And generally speaking, we'll be like rolling out projects funded by the grant to better support and enable the participation of women in NAPP governance and decision making. So this is work ongoing this year and next year. Next. And I would just like to finish my presentation like sharing the quote from another woman who is not from Asia, but this is an International Women's Day. She's from Africa and is one of the graduates of the Women School of Leadership rolled out by Africa. She's from Côte d'Ivoire. And I really like it because it's very inspiring. She said that women used to be buried in the past. We didn't know we had potential. We didn't know we had value. But the improvement we have seen in our income was from nothing to a little bit extra. Now we are saving money. And this is one of the women, producer woman from Côte d'Ivoire, who participated in the Women's School of Leadership in the Fairtrade Africa program, who has really is an inspiration of what can be achieved when women are given an opportunity. So next. I would like to finish with that. There is just to summarize, there are lots of opportunities to actually fund projects and to enhance and strengthen our gender work through the ECFPA grant. As I said before, I'm working very closely with Sonia Dominica, the social compliance manager at the NAPP, to actually identify and define what the best projects could be. But if you have questions about this grant and you want to learn more about the projects, please feel free to contact me or to contact Sonia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Veronica. It was a good presentation from you, so we know the resources we have, the potential we have. And I would like also to acknowledge your dedication in managing this fund and make everything easy for us. still stick on the role, but to facilitate the smooth implementation of every project that being funded by ECFPA. Thank you very much for that, and it's been one of the factors influencing the result we have achieved so far. Thank you very much. Now we have Bindu Sukumara Pillai, our Fairtrade Asia Pacific Partnership and Advocacy Manager. And she also handled the responsibility of fundraising for the producers and workers in Asia Pacific region. Bindu will share with us about advocacy and partnership initiative on women in Asia Pacific. Bindu is an agricultural professional with 18 years of experience in agricultural sector. She has master's degree in agriculture science, working in the rural sector, being passionate about grassroots level capacity building. She worked closely with farmers group in the past in different part of India. Her expertise include ethical certification, organization development, and organic agriculture and project management. Bindu has been working with us very closely also to ensure smooth implementation and supporting us throughout the advocacy initiative, including in gender and inclusive programming. Bindu, we are very glad to have you here, and the floor is yours. I think you are still mute.
International to bring about full enjoy. Good day to everyone. I'm so happy to be here on International Women's Day as one of the speaker of NAPP's webinar on gender. And today's topic for me is the NAPP's strategy on advocacy and partnership in terms of gender. In recent years, we have witnessed notable progress on issues of gender and human rights in standard setting, and to some extent application of those standards through international and domestic legislation and jurisprudence and its institutional programming and development. Some international and regional human rights bodies now go beyond just including women in a list of vulnerable groups, but have begun to incorporate women's experience in perspective into recommendations for structural changes needed to bring about full enjoyment of human rights by women and girls. Violence against the women is increasing at an alarming rate. Domestic violence appears to be on the increase as tensions rise in the global economic crisis. Gender-based discrimination persists in the workplace and in housing, education, disaster relief, political life, inheritance, healthcare, access to food, and countries and other areas. What follows are some thoughts on just a few of the many opportunities and challenges in the coming decade for international human rights advocacy on gender issues. Advocating for equality. It usually means empowering the marginalized group of people to be active participants in the communities. That's what we are following in now. We always focus on producer-led advocacy. Many international organizations are an inspiring example of empowering a marginalized group through advocacy. Gender advocates can be men, women, or the youth, LGBTQ members, individuals, or producer organizations. They may undertake their responsibility as part of their designated role, or maybe purely on the basis of their own motivation and choice. Standing by another advocacy enhances support from another person to help you express your views and wishes and help you stand up for your rights. Inclusive advocacy, what we believe in now, is development perspective and process that is participatory and empowering, equitable, sustainable, free from violence, respectful of human rights, supportive of self-determination and actualization of human potentials. The presence of gender and development advocates determines the success rate of sustaining gender and development mainstreaming initiatives. The presence of gender and development advocates helps lay a solid foundation built on appreciation of gender and development as the right-based approach to development. Rights-based approach means achieving a positive transformation of power relations among the different development actors. In NAPP, we have many flagship programs, especially on gender, and all of you must be aware about the Gender Leadership School. The activities and projects in this serve as a strategic entry point of gender mainstreaming in any producer organization. This is the most practical entry point since it involves the actual implementation of the mandate of a producer organization. We could have simple plans for advocacy, working on access to resource, balanced participation or inclusive participation, protection from gender-based violence, gender and climate change, etc. When NAPP holds several trainings and workshops, having an inclusive participation while enabling and strategizing various advocacy dialogues among the producer members. This will systematically give a way through to engage the gender-balanced advocacy within NAPP for the rights of vulnerable members of our producer organizations. Based on this, these type of interventions, the role of advocacy and communication comes into place. It showcases the producer network's initiatives of good labor practices. When that happens, the world and the entire supply chain looks into the development and how this equity-based advocacy is worked up at producer level. Then this will result in such a way that many players will come back to NAPP for the effective partnership. So this is the strategy we are planning to adopt. Right now, the government level interventions are less at NAPP level. We are trying to work with like-minded producer organization. And thus setting the standards in having good labor practices, remediation and mitigation mechanism will enhance the level of advocacy and engaging partnership in our producer network. That's all for the time being. Thank you so much. And I wish all the participants in this webinar and the producers and workers across the Fairtrade system a very happy International Women's Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bindu, for sharing how NAPP Advocacy and Partnership Initiative for Women in NAPP. Now we are coming to the last presenter, which without her, this webinar today might not be possible, and she is the one in charge for inclusive and social compliance and risk manager at Fairtrade Asia Pacific, Sonia Dominica. Sonia will share with us today the plan for NAPP Gender Program 2022. Again, we encourage participants to leave the comment, feedback, and input in our chat box, and we will respond. Sonia will respond by email directly to you because we don't have enough time for discussion today. Right. Sonia holds master degree in social work and specialized in women and child development. She comes with 18 years of experiences of right-based orientation and learning, and hold a passion in working with children, youth, and women. She started as National Youth President for a movement and moved to work with CRY, Magic Bus, and Child Fund International. She loves to explore things that keep her on her toes. Of course, challenges, men's perspective in a healthy way, as well as work together for a better. Outside her professional space, she enjoys being a fun-loving person, and her strength comes from family and treat her friends to be a blessing. Sonia, would like to welcome you to present in this seminar. You are still in mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Verda. Thank you so much, and it's been pleasure hearing words from you. Another great gender expert at NAPP. Wishing all of you a wonderful year that we started off, and of course, a happy Women's Day to the workers, to the farmers out there, to the vulnerable members, to the children who are associated with us, to the youth who are there, and of course, all the members who support not only the women, but also the men who support our way forward on this particular day. I will be focusing on the way forward, where NAPP we plan to do this year. It's an heavy task, traveling, having a journey from 2018 till date to look at gender work. Gideon, can we go to the next slide, please? It's just a recap that I would want to bring you back to understand from where we were and where we are. There are a couple of panelists who are here who were associated with NAPP for many, many years. But the programmatic approach, the thematic or the cross-cutting approach started off at full-fledged way back in 2018. 2017, they realized we need to have a cross-cutting approach to showcase labor good practices. So 2017, we started having representations, women started going, engaging. Ms. Rakat is there from Central Asia, Ms. Pam Man, who's there on board, Ms. Rama is there on board with us. So we started going, engaging, and working and facing the markets. So those representations started coming up, and the awareness programs across the region started flowing up. While these were happening, the then board in 2018 felt that there should be something that would be visible. So then they, passed in the GA, the Women's Leadership School. Over the course of time, engaging with the board, we realized that having women's school alone would not break the barrier of addressing the issue of gender. So it got converted and transformed into Gender Leadership School. So our first school started off in Central Asia, and then it moved on to Pakistan, Southeast Asian countries were involved, and of course, South Asia countries were involved. A total of 105 students were, got enrolled, of which 75 got graduated, and the remaining of South Asia will get graduated in the coming weeks. So while traveling with this kind of journey, having the Gender Leadership School and rolling up, there was a kind of context setting that was done beyond these 105 people. It started reaching on to the communities, where we started engaging into, percolating into TOT methodology that happened. So there were people engaging at the community level, wherever spaces that was available, where the farmers met, in the religious places, in the youth groups, everywhere we started talking about gender leadership, gender aspect, gender lens, gender mainstreaming program. All of it started developing. And at one point of time in 2019, we felt there isn't a data that we could say that so many women are there and so many men are there. We started collecting. That's when we found out that Sri Lanka was the topper, where we could see that Sri Lankan women participated much more higher than any other country. So this cross-thematic approach or a gender balance approach started building in consciously in 2020. 2021, there was again a scale-up approach that happened in GLS. GLS members then started saying, then what? What comes next? So then we started building the income aspect. how to have an alternative approach and build in the income level to increase their diverse work within the community. So that's when the GLS mini project scaled up across. So totally we have 14 projects that's rolling out, of which 4 have been completed. The rest are on the roll, work in progress. 2021, when there was diverse work across Central Asia as a region, did their own scanning and they had their work. Then we had the South Asia having different work, Southeast Asia looking at a very different perspective. So there was an ask that came up asking, where is the alignment? Sonia, do you see the alignment? Where do we align? There are multiple regions that we are approaching. I'm not even talking about Pacific. If Pacific comes in, the approach level is quite different. So when we have the 4 regions across and China altogether a different region in itself, how are we going to work in that sense to consolidate the impact of gender approach? So that's when we started re-looking at the work that we have done, and we came up with our own strategy to work on. And then we said, here comes that we need to work on a gender strategy for NAPP. Next slide, please. So these were the words that constantly kept going in our minds. Where gender mainstreaming, empowerment, skill building, working together, leadership. Where are the linkages? Where is the collaboration? Market representation of women, integrating, inclusive. Expectations. So many. Voice of vulnerable people. It goes on and on and on and on and on. The words are just floating across. When these were there, the policies in between, the demands from various stakes, RFI is also demanding, then the traders are coming in. How do we match all these components? And then we finally realized and said, next slide, Gideon. We go as NAPP gender strategy goes up as bottom-up approach, where the producers will craft their own strategy to work on the cross-cutting thematic of gender. Nobody is going to dictate. Nobody is going to craft. They themselves will say that these are our priorities of work that's going to come in. And this is what we want to engage in. Nevertheless, there'll be few people to back them, to give them a shape, to put them into a framework to understand the bottom-up approach. And it will be a great initiative that the producer level, producer women and men, and the youth will be involved in it, who will be talking about their own strategy for themselves, which is indeed the NAPP producer network strategy. Next slide, please. So the flow of the NGS is the NAPP gender strategy. The first level will be the core committee formation. We'll have representatives from across. We'll have board representatives. We'll have country network representatives there. It will be a small group with expertise within NAPP. And then we'll also have an external expertise that will be there. So we will have a strong core committee who will understand the flow of the entire gender strategy. And then they'll start framing with the support of an expert. And then we will go on to country level consultations, where we'll say country level, we'll have more voice to be heard on ground, more participation increases. As they move up, then we have the regional level consultations, where again all the regional, so country level consultation will be presented there. Again, they'll come into certain level of consensus, and then they will agree upon, and mutually agreed upon points will be then further submitted to the NAPP level consultation. When the NAPP level consultation comes in, all the regions will present their consensus, the points that came up with, and then that's the point. The fourth level is a point where the core committee and the NAPP level consultation will derive and describe their own strategy. So you will have completely definitions, your way forward for the next 3 years, how it is going to be. So we will have an alignment. We will have an alignment. Maybe the ways, the means would be different. But when we're working forward, our alignment on the impact on work on ground for the marginalized community will be very well defined. The last will be the approval, which will be to the board. Maybe there we will have some changes here and there, but it will be the producers who will be submitting to the NAPP board. Certain people will have zero voting power. We will be only observers, but it will be the producers who will be submitting for the final approval of it. And then we have the coordinating team, and we also have on-ground interns who will be supporting certain data entries, certain collections, certain organizing, these consultation, all that will be done. So this will be the broad outline of our gender strategy. The timeline we are looking at starting from April, and we are hoping by December we should complete these consultations, and we will be ready to roll out by 2023. These are the plans that is there for us. Along with this, we will also start profiling of gender with gender data, disaggregated data that is not available on our desk. So those will be done. And also the policy that many of us mentioned during our presentations, policy will also be intact. The entire project of all these consultations is in line with the EU. So thanks to Veronica for supporting this initiative, because it's also governance level changes that is going to happen. And thanks to all. Next slide, Gideon. Any questions, please do reach me on my email ID. But the last thing I would want to say is, if you want to stand for the unjust society, we have to be determined not to live it as it is already formed. But we need to all stand together and collaborate with each other to make a difference in our system. Thank you so much, and for encouraging this particular session amongst us. Gideon, can you play that video, please? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sonia, for sharing the strategic and planning for NAPP gender programming in 2022. It's really encouraging that we are adopting the bottom-up approach, as we all well aware that gender is a context specific and cannot be generalized from one location to another, not to mention from one country to another. So we will have diverse programming, but we still align to our general objective, which is really good. And in the future, maybe in the next year, we have the same session with a wider and more diverse impact and stories. Thank you very much, Sonia. You have done very great for leading this initiative in NAPP. Before I am handing this over to our CEO, would anyone of the presenter, because I'm worried that all the presenter will leave, or maybe later on after Sanjit's presentation, we would like to have pictures of the presenter, so please don't leave the webinar until then. Now we come to the end of the webinar today, and I think it's really run well, and this is not be possible without hard work from our team. Gideon from Mail and IT Manager, and Anu as our Marketing and Communication Manager. Incredible work. So we would like to appreciate everyone and also the participants to dedicate your time in this event today. Now we would like to welcome our newly appointed CEO, Mr. Sanjit Singh Khurana. I would like also to congratulate him for taking over this position. Before he is working as COO of Fairtrade and now being trusted as CEO. Congratulations, Sanjit. And also he will lead the closing of today's seminar. Before he start, I would like to share a little bit about Sanjit. Sanjit is an agribusiness professional with over 30 years of experience in plantation management and farmers development program in Asia Pacific region. Being passionate about the grassroots level capacity building, he has worked closely with farmers group in Papua New Guinea, Laos, and Thailand to enhance their farm productivity, improve processing, and provide market linkage. The impact of climate change on agriculture and its risk mitigation led him to introduce regenerative system with carbon sequestration on farm in Laos. He has worked with major agro-MNCs to develop greenfield projects and provide linkage through the value chain. Having worked in senior management position, give him an insight to formulate and execute developmental strategies and implementation policies decision related to good agriculture practices, budgeting and finance, traceability, certification, and companies' livelihood charter. Welcome, Sanjit, and please also lead the closing ceremony. From my side, I would like to say thanks to everyone, and sorry if something not going well, not as convenient as we are expecting, but this is the challenge of being online and using the technology. Thank you very much, and floor is yours, Sanjit. Thank you.
Members of the NAPP board, distinguished guests and speakers, colleagues and friends. It's indeed an iconic moment for NAPP as a producer network and a time for bold changes. This management and planning tool, the strategic plan, aims to directly tackle the structural causes of gender-based discrimination and inequality through the repeal of discriminatory laws. We are already seeing momentum building for change in these structural aspects, but we wish to see far more changes, those that are sustainable. We are aiming for transformation of discriminatory social norms and stereotypes and strengthen institutional support to basically facilitate equality for women and men across our entire producer network and the member organizations. The responses we see are very encouraging, notwithstanding the challenges that we continue to face. There are signals of progress being made to end discrimination against women in many parts of the world since the adoption of the Agenda 2030. Small steps in the right direction may have taken years to achieve, but have implications for generations to come. Our work under gender started off with the Gender Leadership School as a flagship program in NAPP, which is ongoing in different regions. Parallelly, we also have a series of gender sustainability programs facilitated through the EU funding channels. What we must do is to always look at opportunities and avenues to introduce new initiatives while consolidating our work across the NAPP region. As the world moves towards gender equality, women deserve equal freedom and liberty in every sphere of life. The tremendous effort by men, women, girls and boys around the world in shaping a more equitable future and recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic must be really applauded. There are barriers in every country that make women empowerment difficult, with cumulative layers of discrimination on the basis of race, age, class, disability, education, ethnicity, and gender. And we all agree that there can be no true equality while violence against women persists. Our work on gender must be aligned under a common policy so that a framework can be designed where all the gender-related programs which are ongoing and the ones that are in the planning stage fit together perfectly and complement each other. We believe we can make a change that breaks long-standing cultures and environment stereotypes. And in this strategic plan, we take bold steps to move in that direction. Together, we have an opportunity to engage in inclusive collaborations that will ensure we have commitment from all stakeholders, something I know we all believe in, and is fundamental in framing a sustainable NAPP gender equality strategy. We need active participation from each of our producer members and work on a model that is bottom-up and that takes into account the diverse regional realities and the ground situation in each and every country that we operate. Distinguished delegates, I declare that the process of developing the NAPP gender equality strategy will start now, with several discussions at producer organizations, networks, regional levels, as well as at the NAPP board level. We believe the strategic plan strikes a good balance between your priorities and what we know exists on the ground as needs. It will help provide us with a solid framework to respond to our request for a strong and stable policy that is fit for purpose. So please continue to support in crafting the NAPP Gender Strategy 2023-25, which will start this year with holding multiple consultations across regions and groups, and overall to build a framework and develop an aligned roadmap. So wishing all of us the very best and many successes ahead. God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjit. And if you are aware, we are exactly having had 2.5 hours in this webinar. Thank you very much for all the participants and all the presenters of this webinar. And we are really looking forward to do more and harder work and creating a better impact and greater impact in the future.